I am Kharisma McIlwaine with the Philadelphia Sunday Sun.
Hello.
Hi, gentlemen.
West Philly over here.
I know.
I just gotta always represent. You know, Philly people always do that. I'm sorry. They so annoyed with me. I've been doing that every time somebody else.
So tired of you. So tired.
Yeah, West Philly, what's up? Okay, I'm sorry.
No one is prouder than anybody that's from Philly. It's just a thing.
True. It's true.
It's a thing. Well, gentlemen, I love this movie so much. The talent and the caliber of talent in this film is just phenomenal. So I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that I had an opportunity to see all of you perform. It was incredible. So
thank you. Thank you.
One of the things that I love about this film is the camaraderie that you feel from the second you see you gentlemen together. So my first question is for Coleman. One scene in particular that was really jarring but extremely moving was the scene where you guys are all teasing Levy about him, pandering to the white man, and how that then transforms into him telling this story about what happened to his family. So I was just wondering, for you, what was it like to be in that scene and in that moment?
Well, that scene, especially the way George directed it, we're taking the piss out of one another, and we're acting the way a band does. No one's taking anything too deep. It's like, I'm just playing with you. But as we know, on any given day, you never know what a person is carrying. And I think that's what August Wilson is showing in this scene in particular. They're like, you never know. You push. You may have been able to tell that joke yesterday, but today's a different day. You never know what they're walking in with, or what their stakes are, or what touches that wound that you have. And so that wound just comes out of Chadwick's Levy so passionately. And he's telling that story, as George kept saying as well. When any one of us tells a story, you're telling someone else's pain as well, because you're revealing that, and you're saying, this is my pain that I carry. He says, you don't know what I carry. You don't know anything about me. So let me tell you. And so we all hold space for that. We all hold space for that pain because we didn't know that was there. And now we have a choice with how we deal with that person in the future. Yeah, it was beautiful, especially with these guys.
So beautiful, and so many different levels of emotion there. Glenn, one of the other scenes that I really loved in the film was when you were talking about how we as a people have to do more together. We can't just have a good time. Thinking about the fact that this is a period piece, and then looking at the state of our country now, what would you say just in terms of that whole dichotomy, thinking back to saying what we need to do to progress as a people and looking at where we are now?
Well, because of today, and thanks largely in part to Philly and Pennsylvania, I'm encouraged, because it's a perfect example of what he was talking about. We have to come together. Each person's got to do his part, and each person in this time did do their part enough to give us some breathing room and give us a glimmer of hope again, as we went to the polls as individuals, but collectively became big enough to handle the situation at hand. And that's what he was talking. That's exactly what August was talking about, And so it's an encouraging time for me. I look forward to the future that's coming. It's not as bleak as it was, and this is what my character was speaking of.
Thank you for that. And
thank you. I'm sorry, we've run out of time.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.